It's obviously a great honour to be the chair of the ITF's Women Transport Workers Committee, and I wanted to begin by paying tribute to road transport because I think things have changed massively since we first started organising women transport workers in the ITF.
Diana Holland is the Assistant General Secretary of Unite, the union, in the UK. Ms. Holland is also the chair of the Women's Committee of the International Transport Workers Federation, the ITF. The ITF is the global union federation which represents air, sea, and land transport workers at the world level. In the past few years, it has been paying particular attention to the issues related to women workers in the transportation sector. On November 13th and 14th, the ITF held a major conference of transport union representatives in Toronto. I talked to Ms. Holland and some other delegates at the conference about the problems faced by women transport workers and how unions can help them. I asked Ms. Holland what the ITF has been doing to help women transport workers in the past few years.
First and foremost, we wanted to make sure that people recognise that women are key to the transport sector and that they play a vital role, a professional role and a skilled role. So we carried out a survey. We identified there'd been some improvements, which is important to stress, I think, and that the unions had managed to make a difference. But I think we also saw that there were areas that still needed improvement. So if I can be practical, give you some examples. I think across the world, the issue of women's pregnancy and discrimination against women around the whole issue of having children and raising them was something that was recognised everywhere. It's extreme. In one country, we had an example where women had enforced pregnancy testing before they were employed because the employer was so determined not to employ anybody who might be about to have a baby. On the other hand, you had examples where we had really good, positive maternity policies that made it possible for women to combine working and family responsibilities, which is obviously what our aim is. So what we did when we found out that was an issue was that we produced examples of model agreements of good practice. We looked at the legislation where it was positive and we shared experiences and we offered solidarity to those that were in the most difficult positions. The other issues that came up, I think, were a lot around uniforms and the appropriateness of some uniforms. There were some where women, for example, were being forced to wear too short skirts or very high heels or things that they felt demeaned their role. I think another issue was around working time. And that, again, links back to family responsibilities and to safety. Were women properly supported around when they had travelling time that was unsocial hours? How were they getting to and from their work in the first place? And could the employer do to recognise that, the need for safety and the need for women to be able to do their job?
At the conference in Toronto, the 200 delegates from 44 countries discussed a range of issues such as HIV/AIDS, health and safety, violence in the workplace, as well as what men and women unionists can do to help women transport workers. I talked to a delegate from one of the smaller countries represented at the conference. Wilma Clement is an Assistant General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union. I asked her what major problems are faced by women in the transport sector.
I'm finding for women, it's about work and family responsibilities, being able to reconcile the two, take care of families and drive. In Barbados, a woman can start driving from as early as 4 o'clock in the morning. We have few care facilities. So I've found recently that there are some women who are taking the children on the bus with them. And then the teachers are complaining that the children are sleeping in the classroom, and that is not good. We've also have a problem with the actual hiring of women bus drivers. The management is saying it is the government's policy. The government is saying they like to hire women. But when we look at the statistics, there are very few women who are being hired. And it has a lot to do with, I suppose, the whole attitude towards women drivers. That though they're saying that women are careful drivers, they're still thinking that bus driving is a man's job, and a woman has to be really very good to be chosen to do that job. So we're trying to overcome that hurdle.
You can hear extended versions of my interviews with Ms. Holland and Ms. Clement on the RadioLabour website.